We asked Saskatchewan what they know about 5G.
More speed? More innovation?
That's gonna make our lives a whole heck of a lot easier.
This is what 5G looks like.
Better, faster.
Sounds like one more G. Sounds pretty good.
I don't know what it means.
All you really need to know is the future of 5G is here and will continue improving through investments in network technology.
I had that problem with a game yesterday. Is my partner could hear me, but James couldn't.
We'll let you know when we're live here, Sean. You can see the game, hey, Sean?
I can.
Okay, good. Well, at least we got that figured. Oh.
But I got the colors backwards. Good evening, everyone. I think we've got the technical issues figured out now. Sean Joyce joining you here live from the RBC Dominion Securities Western Showdown. We've got a B event qualifier for you here this afternoon. Eunjung Kim out of Korea facing off against Abby Ackland. Two teams in this matchup had a chance to practice before the game. They throw a draw to the button for last rock. Is the Ackland team throwing the yellow stones that'll have last rock here in the opening end. Just on to second stones now, the final second stone for the Korean team. Looking to clean things up in the middle a little bit, running back one of her own, and oh boy, almost made the double on the yellows. The guard and the one shot rock sitting at the top of the 8 foot. Opportunity for the Ackland team to try to pull another one around the guard, get a second shot as well. So sitting 2 here early in the first end. looking to perhaps score as many as 2 or 3. Everything's now. Looking for the run back one more time. Catches the guard, does clip the stone at the top of the house. But a little bit of a bad break there, and then it jams at the back. So it's Ackland still sitting 2. And now with a chance to perhaps pull a third one around. Plenty of room by the guard. Now this one looks like it's got a lot of weight. Hoping it stops in front of the tee line. It does. So Ackland sitting 3. With that one sliding that deep, chance for Eunjung Kim to ask for the come around, sit right on top of that rock, and they can eliminate those other 2 counters. Would drastically shrink the scoring area as well. Tighter line coming by the guard. Might be able to get to the inside of this. Doesn't get right down to it. Definitely cut out the one at the back. But I think it might still be Ackland sitting 2. That's what she indicates. That stone top 8 foot, still a bit of a problem for the Ackland team. They can't really do much to eliminate it. So we're going to look to corner freeze on it. Comes down, sits on the corner, may have nudged it just a little bit, perhaps enough that the red stone is now second shot. Eunjung asking the other end how much of that yellow they can see. Not that they're looking to make a play on it. They're worried about Abby Ackland hitting what she can see, that yellow stone, and driving the red out the back. Could leave her sitting 4. That's a problem stone for them. Looking at what she can do on the other side. I'm not sure here. Unfortunately, we don't have mics on these players, and even if we did, I'm not sure I'd be able to tell you what they had discussed. But I'm looking at the ice thing. Does she think she can see enough, perhaps, of that Yellowstone at the top of the 8-foot to maybe play a bit of a slash on it? Maybe just trying to get to the face of it, tap it through, and leave her shooter in a good spot. Makes the tap, does come to the stone at the back and rolls off enough that the Koreans seem to be sitting 2-3 right now. 2 yellows at the back would be about 5th and 6th right now. The Ackland team still looking at that situation at the front. They've got room to perhaps tap their own, remove the red. I think that might leave them sitting second shot for now. Apologies, we've had a few technical difficulties. I think Mark No is with me here now. Mark, can you hear me?
I can. Thanks for having me.
You picked a bad first end to miss. We've got all kinds of rocks in play. A lot of times you miss the first end, you're not missing a whole lot.
Yeah, it looks like there's quite a bit in play. Very interesting. Who has hammer this end?
Ackland has the hammer. She was looking for the tap there, yellow onto red. Try to take the red out the back. Now by removing the guard, she's got a direct path to that stone. Eunjung Kim with her final stone about to be delivered here in this first end doesn't have an easy way into the 4-foot. I think they're looking at the angle tap. That was her first stone. She played the in-turn tap back, and that's her shooter that's sitting right there behind the broom. And you have to think the reason they played that was so they'd have it to tap up here on the last one.
Yeah, I mean it's there. You don't want to. It's thin to get the one that's kind of in the top 8-foot there. So if you got that shot, you might as well
I
take
think you
it.
played as a tap draw, but I don't know why you played the shot on the first one if you weren't going to play this on your second one. I think they were probably just looking to see if that shot by Abby Ackland would have opened things up if it left anything else. But this was what they were looking at when they played the shot on her first one. And I think it's likely what they're still going to play. Get an angle tap into the button area. That yellow-red combination at the front's not really going to be lined up great for Abby Ackland. You've got a chance here to steal if you can tap this right to the button.
Yeah, while we're getting this shot set up here, do want to thank everyone that's joining us, whether you're watching us on the Curling Zone YouTube. I think as Curling Zone and Curling Stadium does more of these broadcasts, we'll get more mics. Mics are kind of logistically hard to set up for these games, especially when you have multiple draws, especially back to back. So we'll try to bring you as much commentary and any references that the players make throughout the course of the game.
You'll be responsible for the ones that are in Korean.
Okay, I'll try.
The cameras out on the ice surface do have mics on them, so you can hear some of the sweep calls and things like that. And I did have a game last night. When we get down to the final end or so, when there's only one game out there, you can pick up some of the voices.
This is pretty close. Just hits it a little bit on the low side.
Over curled a little bit now. Did she also line up that yellow-red combination? Because if that's lined up to kill the stone that she just tapped back, I don't know whether Abby Ackland's looking at it, but it could be for 4.
Yeah.
They
Early.
they don't seem to be looking at it, but
I don't know if the. Are you talking about the yellow on the
I mean,
red?
it's in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
It might yellow red onto the red that was just tapped back. I mean, it might be a dead jam, but
Yeah.
if you could double the reds, it's 3 at least.
Yeah.
or
I
maybe
mean,
4.
I think it's no risk here, right? You got one pretty much locked up. There's no way you're removing that.
Yeah, there's no way you're giving up 1. But opting to just try to come down to the stone that was just tapped back. Don't think she can get to the inside of it, so she'll need to move it a couple of inches. Brushers were on this all the way.
This
They
is
have to
hanging
get
out
by
here.
the stone at the top of the 12-foot. Line's going to be okay. The question is whether or not they can get it there, and that's just not quite going to make it. It'll be a score 1 for Abby Ackland here in the first end. She'll take the 1-0 lead. It'll be Eunjung Kim with last rock in the second.
We just got our shipment of logos here in for our next event, which is going to be the mixed doubles. As you can see, there's a few of them. There's roughly 20 logos per sheet to be put in for the mixed doubles, along with a couple extra little dots. But all our logos come from Jet Ice. They are the best logos to put in. We use them around the world, and they're very easy to install. As you can tell, this is the center ice logo that's going to be going in for the world. This is about a 4-footer by 10. It's going to look like $1 million. Their colors on their logos are always nice and vibrant. And like I said before, very easy to put in.
Pretty small group when we do the Saskatchewans too, but
just happy to be able to watch.
welcome back, everyone. Exciting first end. A lot of rocks in play. We have seen some fairly open first ends, but here in this B-qualifier, these two teams look like they've come to play, try to put some points on the board. In the end, though, it's just a single point for the Ackland team.
Yeah, I got to watch the Kim team in the earlier draw. And yeah, the first 2 ends were pretty straightforward, just hits and hits and hits, and then they were able to crack a big end all of a sudden. And so this Team Kim, I like the way they play. You know, rocks and play, not afraid, and it's no wonder they're a top 10 team in the world.
Of course, right after we say that, they decide to hit that first rock as it comes into the rings. This one's really curling on them. Going to have to go to make contact. It'll touch it enough to get it out the back, and the shooter will hang around at the edge of the 12. Makes the hit, stays right there. I have to admit, I did one game with the Kim team earlier, but I'm still dealing with an awfully small screen here, and they do carry a 5-person roster.
They do.
So I don't think, to me, this looks like the same lineup they used in the other game that I played in. And the nice side of it is that all of the last names are Kim, so if I just say Kim, I'm right, but I'll try to get the first names for you as we go along. And if anybody's sure of the roster at home, I think, Mark, you said you're watching the chat. If they if they tip us off, that'd be great.
Yeah, I did have a Kim game earlier myself, and yeah, we did have chat kind of chime in. What was the throwing order? We do see the
fashion photo. The fashion photo headshots make it a little tough to tell when they've all got their hair pulled back in ponytails, and I'm dealing with a screen that's only about 5 inches high. think the Ackland team might be playing with a substitute as well.
Yeah, I'm not as
The
familiar with the
rosters-
lineup with the
I'm not
Team
as
Ackland.
familiar with the lineup, but the third is listed as Caitlin Jones. Caitlin played her junior career here in Saskatchewan, so I know her a little bit, and I don't see her out there.
Oh. So after a couple early hits, I'm glad to see some guards in play now, and we'll, with that one being kind of way off into the wings, I think both teams are able to kind of ignore it here.
It'll depend what they want to do. I think the issue was that and you do see this once in a while, even from the North American team. So the Korean team didn't like that rock in the middle to start the end. So you play one hit, get the roll over to the corner, and then you try to play your guards. And there, the come around attempt doesn't work out for her. So now a chance for the Ackland team without last rock here, sitting one, 3 guards to work with, 2 on the center, looking for the come around.
Does clear the guard now, just a matter of burying it and whatever depth they like. That does settle in very nicely.
Now those 2 center guards fairly close together. And angled to come back and probably clip a piece of that stone, as long as you don't hit the first one too thin and get some drag past it. Makes the contact, does clip the stone at the top of the 4. Boy, almost caught the one at the edge of the 12 as well. So continues to be Ackland sitting one, edge of the 12 foot. There are 3 guards, but all belonging to the Koreans. Brusher's really working this hard, not just for the line. They want to get it into the 4 foot and just rubs the guard. Weight, I think, would have been good. They should have had 4 foot if it gets by. Leaves the chance now for the Koreans to get the hit and roll. And Mark, do you want to roll right behind the center guard or all the way over
I think
those corners, or are you really that fussy?
I mean, I think they would be happy with anything, but I think rolling all the way to the wings will be good, and we'll see if Abby then makes a play at it or just comes around the center, which then you can just run your own Kim Rock back.
Yeah, it probably opens up the potential for a bigger end if you roll over behind the corners, but you're right. It forces Abby Ackland really to try to come around again. If she makes it good, could be a problem. How do you like that when you don't make a firm decision which one you want to roll to? You roll right into the gap.
Yeah, I didn't hear a lot of discussion there about where to roll it to. I'm not sure I would have been able to pick up, their on ice communication there, but yeah, just in between.
Does have to negotiate this port. Little sweep at the end to make sure it curls enough. Makes the port, makes the hit, stays right there.
It looks like they're they tapped both sides here, so I guess discussing to see what the shooter's preferences and what their thoughts are.
Yeah, that did roll over a couple of inches, so she's got air on both sides, but it really depends on which turn you want to play. It's either way, it's probably easier to come over the top. So if they're going to play the outside in, it'll be the in turn here, then probably trying to roll behind the center guard.
Yeah.
There's some thought about perhaps. I thought maybe they were looking at playing the angle run, get rid of the center guard, and
Yeah. This is interesting.
looking at the straight draw.
Do you like this call here?
Well, you know, if you're not 100% confident of making the hit and roll, this is certainly the easiest way to sit shot rock.
Yeah.
You do have to be careful not to slide too deep. Ideally here, you want to be dead buried, maybe just nibbling the top of the forefoot. Make sure you've got room to score your 2.
This one's got plenty of room. Sweepers are off it. It's got to curl it, but it's got to check up at the same time here.
Trying to bring it back now. It's one of those cases where if it's behind the tee line, it better be well behind the tee line.
It does settle for shot rock, and you can see most of it here. So definitely accessible with quiet weight.
Probably doesn't care too much if she holds the shooter here. She's got the 2 rocks in play that she needs to get the force. Won't want to be flirting with the guard here, I don't think.
A little bit more weight than I would have thought, but like I said, not too worried about getting to the inside and keeping the shooter here, but should be just fine.
Does make the hit. Shooter rolls across, and I think out of the rings, but it is close.
Yep. Thanks to this overhead cam, I can see some paint there, some white paint, so looks like it's out, but
Yeah, that angle can always be a little deceptive. The overhead camera's over the center hole. We need to look over top of the rock. So sometimes you can see a little bit of white and those rocks are still in. It's not quite as precise as looking over the top. Eunjung Kim with her first stone here in the second end, still looking for that come around, could still set up the deuce.
going hard now for line here.
Boy, this one's curling big time.
Is by the top.
Great job by the brushers to bring that into the top of the 8-foot. It is shot rock and it is buried. Abby Ackland, not too much to think about here. She's just going to try to come around everything. And this is one where if you had to, you don't mind this one coming to the back 4-foot. You want to bury it. You want to make sure it's in there well enough that Kim can't make a play to remove it. And you're trying to come around a stone at the top of the 8-foot, so hard to do that and stay in front of the tee line.
Final stone here for Abby Ackland.
Brushers have been on this one, not a firm scrub yet, but close. They're waiting on it to curl. It's going now.
Now trying to bury it here. It's gotta go to get it buried.
She's going to get a piece in behind. But that probably gives Eunjung Kim enough room if she wants to make a play at it. Play with just like back 12-foot weight, try to move it far enough to score 2.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's
hard to throw much more weight than that and hold the shooter.
I mean, you can see most of it, and you know, if it's made, you get your 2 here, and you can even roll out or roll towards the wings a little bit, right? You just
Have to stay full 8 foot. That's about it. Final stone for Kim here in the second hand. She's trailing by 1. Has second shot at the top of the 8 foot, looking to make a play on shot rock.
maybe just a hair up.
Brushers seem to think it was a little bit firm. Now they've already jumped the sweep from the offside, trying to get some curl. Needs to get a piece of this stone.
Oh.
It'll slide by. So nice draw by Abby Ackland on her final stone. Gets the steal of 1. Now has a 2-0 lead over Eunjung Kim. It'll be Kim with last rock in the third.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 2022 Western Showdown, the largest international women's curling event in Canada this season. We're so glad you've decided to join us to see some of the top female curlers in the world participate in this event. My name is Jim Grundy. I'm the branch director of RBC Dominion Securities here in Swift Current. Our branch is not only a huge fan and supporter of curling in our community, we're so proud to be supporting the Western Showdown for its inaugural year. RBC is committed to working with our community partners to promote and celebrate vibrancy in sport in the communities in which we live. Thank you to everyone from the Western Showdown team for putting together this amazing event. On behalf of RBC, enjoy the tournament.
Saskatchewan, you know Sasktel because we're everywhere. Because being everywhere keeps us connected to you. With Sasktel sponsorships, we get to be part of your community. We're here with you, and we're here for you. It's easy to get started. All you need to do is apply. Sasktel cares. Always has, always will. To apply for sponsorship, visit sasktel.com/sponsorships.
Third end underway here. Center guard thrown up by the Ackland team. Here it is, the first lead stone for the Koreans, looking to come around it.
A lot of room on this one here. We're sweeping it to kind of keep it straighter. So I don't know if they're expecting a really hard finish here.
Going to stay out in the open with a little bit of daylight to try to make a play on it.
I think some people are asking in the chat here, winning this match, when is the next one? So this is one of the B finals, so qualifier, and that would go to essentially the playoff starting tomorrow morning, right?
Yes, the winner of this game moves on to the championship round tomorrow morning. That's and I should look, but I believe the first game is 9 a.m. Saskatchewan time.
Okay.
The loser of the two game, there are 2 B qualifiers on right now. Those 2 will drop down to C qualifying. They'll get another chance in just a few hours. Brushers working hard on this one to get it by the guard. Not going to.
Well,
nice thing about that quiet weight, it saves the rock. Had they removed the guard from play, that's still a free guard and would have been replaced. So now all of the rocks that are in play touching the rings.
Yeah, interesting result there with the maybe accidental tick there. Or maybe that was purposeful. Who knows?
Looking to make the hit and sweeping for a little bit of curl. I'd like to hold the shooter as well. It does hang on, but I think the red at the back of the 12-foot, there's a good look at it from the overhead, is second shot.
Yeah, so it looks like decent potential here for a deuce. There's a good amount of separation here, so if you hit and maybe just flop a little bit to the left side, I guess from the house perspective, or the right side if you're from the thrower's perspective, then have some good separation there.
Brushes are on this one right away. Wanted to roll to the open side a little bit. Just going to hit that and stay right on the nose, though. Still sits 2. I'll be Ackland asking for the hit here and roll towards the second shot stone.
It looked like she was asking for a pretty big roll here. And this one's hanging out there a bit.
Going to hit and actually roll a little bit more to the open side. Eunjung Kim will be happy to just continue to exchange hits out here, and if she can carry that through for the end, might have an opportunity for a deuce here. As you said, a fairly risk-free deuce.
Yeah, good amount of separation. You know, and if we kind of think back on how this ends played out, it's that kind of tick shot made it very important. Just that good weight selection, and you're able to kind of keep rocks in play here.
They're able to make the hit. Stay right there, keep the separation. Abby Ackland again looking for the big rollover towards the second shot. Makes the hit, but stays right there.
Are you kind of, for the team Ackland, are they throwing? Do you feel like they're throwing maybe just a little bit too much weight to get these rolls here, or?
Well, no, I'm not going to question their weight if that's the weight they want to throw. It is a big roll that they're looking for, and she certainly has the ice tight, but that might be part of the issue right there. You see it a lot, especially early in the year. A thrower looks at a broom that's inside the edge of the rock like that, and you tend to make sure that you're not narrow.
Yeah. Oh, and then there's this one.
Sneaky little roll, but I don't think it's second shot.
No, yeah, it's on, but not second. So
the problem for Abby Ackland is it's too dangerous to make a play on that stone. Even if you did make it, you'd have to be out of the rings.
Yeah. Couple choices here.
And yet it's a short run for the Koreans, so you need to make sure you
thinking about drawing it behind. Looks like I'm not sure who's the thrower here. I'll have to.
Yeah, I haven't figured that one out yet. I figured out she's left-handed, so I believe actually. Oh, I think I know who this is. Kelly Schaefer. And she actually lives in Swift Current now. Formerly of Scotland. think I've got the last name right.
Needing it to curl a little bit.
Makes the hit, but loses the shooter. Well, decision time now for the Koreans. You could play the little angle slash on the red. Try to get both of them into the rings, but you would leave your 2 stones probably grouped for an opportunity at a double.
Yeah. But yeah, what's the other option, right? You're drawing behind the other guard on the other side of the house, yeah?
For now, yeah. I mean, the only other school of thought is if you save this shot for your last one, and that's not to say that you'll get a chance to play it then. If you make it on the last one, there's no opportunity for a double. Make it now. Sit your 2. If they make the double, you were prepared to blank this end when it started anyway.
Yeah, and we'll see this kind of inside out run and roll to the center here. Should be pretty close.
Makes the hit, stuffs the first one, and does get a bit of a roll to the center line.
Yeah.
Will leave the opportunity for the double.
Yeah, and I think that's probably the best outcome there, right? Your only other way to do it is throw more weight there, but then you risk losing the target rock, yeah?
Yeah, one or the other. I mean, you had to dead stuff it anyway, so that's the first objective.
Is this the double or just the hit and roll here? The
I
turn
think,
kind of.
yeah, I did with that broom. I thought she was playing the other turn, but
Yeah.
makes the hit. I think she was playing the double with that big weight, but maybe expecting the big weight to run there a little better than it did
float,
for her.
yeah. So for Team Kim here, obviously you have to get rid of this rock here, but how big are they wanting to roll ideally, or are they calling for?
You know, even if you just roll to the other side of the center line, it's probably too flat for a double after that. You don't want to roll too close to the corner guard, because then Abby Ackland tries to roll behind the corner and take your end away that way.
Yeah.
Split center might be enough. Nothing out of the brushers yet. Makes the hit, sits right there, actually makes for a fairly flat, or a fairly steep double.
Yeah. Looked like they were trying to brush it into the rock a little bit towards the end there, so don't know if they were worried they were going to hit it too thin, but they definitely got plenty of the rock.
Just confirming here that I do have the last name. It is Schaefer, Kelly Schaefer. Used to play with, I believe it was Muirhead, out of Scotland, and moved to Swift Current a number of years ago. So you got a ready-built sub at these events, for women's event in Swift Current.
You know, and it's great to hear stories about, you know, curlers like this, right? Because I'm gonna guess Kelly's not on a normal competitive team here.
I don't believe so. And I don't know Kelly very well. I do believe she's been working towards her Canadian citizenship. She was in Swift Current for World Championships, as I understand the story, and stayed after it was over, or But I think she went back to Scotland and came back, but it became home after that.
Final rock for Team Ackland here.
One more pass at the double and just over the top of that stone.
Which turn do you want to go?
Kim, just that was all the discussion was about. Where do we want to throw this draw? What spot do we know? Trailing by 2, already sitting 1, a chance to grab any paint and tie the game up.
I don't know about you, but I always feel like this is one of the harder shots, the open draw to paint. I think I missed 2 of these last weekend when I was out of Spiel.
I don't think I can say that
on the air. In fairness to myself, I did end up winning the event, so it didn't hurt me too much. But definitely will be honest about my shortcomings there. Nicely made.
No shortcomings here. Brings that into the top of the 8-foot. Picks up her deuce. We're all tied up after 3 ends of play. It'll be Abby Ackland with last rock when we come back.
Sasktel Be Kind Online wants to stop cyberbullying. Want in on the action? We award up to $1,000 for youth initiatives that help spread kindness and prevent bullying. What great idea do you have to help stop bullying? Sasktel can help. Go to BeKindOnline.com and apply for a grant today. Together, we can make a difference.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.
Sean Joyce, Mark No with you here live from the RBC Dominion Secure Western Showdown. Swift Current B-Event Qualifier action for you here Saturday afternoon. The C-Event Qualifiers will be tonight as well. Abby Ackland, Eunjung Kim all tied at 2 after 3 ends of play. 4th end just underway. See the center guard thrown on the first one, just come to rest. And looks like Abby Ackland looking for the come around on that. So we figured out it's Kelly Schaefer playing third stones, and if we've got them in the right order on our headshots, that should make this Sarah Oliver throwing the lead stones, but my headshot shows her as a blonde.
Yeah. Huh. Yeah, if anyone out there that is familiar with this team, if you want to give us a heads up on the lineup this weekend, I know with these events, we do see a little bit of mixing of orders and super subs coming in.
These teams, when they play this kind of schedule, it's not hard. It's not easy to get all 4 players to all the events. So we've got Sarah Oliver listed as lead and Megan Walter listed as second, but I don't have a headshot for her.
Yeah, Sean, do you think we'll see more of these kind of, 5-team or 5-person teams being more common?
Well, we have seen it seem to be growing a little bit in the last few years. Certainly, I think this year it was to be expected anyway, because it's right after the Olympic cycle. It's hard to find 4 players to commit to this type of schedule that you want to play for your sponsors and everything else when this really isn't part of the qualification process directly into the next Olympic trials. So gives you a chance to play with a little bit larger roster, not have to commit to as many weekends, and yet your team's still there every weekend.
Yeah, that's true. This is shaping up to be a pretty interesting end. I'm always a big fan of having Roxanne play, not a big fan of blanks myself. Although I can appreciate the skill it takes to get to make some situations blank here, but always like seeing Roxanne play.
A little bit of a pocket formed in the yellow, so a chance if you can get to the inside of the one that's open, can maybe move both of them.
This one ought to be pretty close here.
Gets the open one, just nudges the shot stone, doesn't move it very far.
Yeah. You gotta like the setup here for Team Kim so far. And it looks like they're not going to open up the center here, but just go ahead.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. I'm surprised. This is the 6th stone of the end. She could peel the guard right now. Still, she's got shot rock. If you can get to the inside of this stone, maybe nudge it back a little bit, just take away the angle onto your own shot stone. It's not a bad setup for her yet. A little bit of cat and mouse going on here as they try to position good angles in the rings before anybody does anything with the guard. Wanted to get to the inside of that. Taps it back, but right onto the corner of the yellow stone.
Yeah, that's
not what they had in mind.
Yeah, now that yellow's accessible a couple different ways now here. Yeah, if you ever get to the inside of this yellow here, you can spill out both yellows, can't you?
Yeah, looks like you can just see all of it though. So it might be tough to get to the inside with any kind of weight. And when you're looking at moving 3 stones, you're going to need a little bit of weight. She doesn't have to play that yet though. She could come around the other side, play that same kind of a tap, red onto the yellow, and if she moves that yellow a little bit, she actually might leave it a little more dead in behind the first red. Leave it surrounded. That might force Abby Ackland to go peel the guard, because Eunjung Kim has a chance to have that shot rock surrounded and angles for her favor in both sides.
And by the cleaning, it looks like they are going to play something on this intern side.
Giving everybody a quick peek in at some of the other scoreboards. The 2 B-Qualifiers on here this afternoon. The other 4 games all in the C event, and the winners of the C event games and the losers of the B-Qualifiers will be back on the ice tonight in an attempt to grab the last couple of spots. Or is it 2? I should double check that. Is it 2 Bs and
yeah,
4 Cs, or it could be 3 and 3. I haven't looked at the draw.
I think it's 2 here. Yeah, I am. Let me take a look. I'm just gonna hop on over to Curling Zone, click on standings, and so it looks like for the A qualifiers, we've already got Team Grandy and Team Gim qualifying out of there, and under the B, it looks like 2 qualifiers here as well.
Opting to play a little bit more weight at that than I thought, and they make the tap and actually move that Yellowstone far enough back that It looks to be Korea sitting 3 right now.
Yeah, so 2 A qualifiers, 2 B qualifiers, and the last 4 spots will come out of this C.
And we will have all of that action for you right here on Sasktel Curling Stadium. And 1 game per draw available on CBC Gem as well. We hope the people watching there have been enjoying the coverage. Kelly Schaefer's made her way down to take a look at things in the house. I think it's a discussion of how much weight they want to play, or they've decided not to play the run at all. They're maybe trying to get at it from the other side. Well, you can't see very much of this.
Yeah, I suppose if the one on the center line's on top, this is, and think they can maybe possibly roll towards the side there, but I thought that was pretty flat, so we'll see the result here.
Well, and if you don't make it, I guess you clip the guard, and not the end of the world for you either. She got the triple.
Wow. What a
Boy,
shot.
she did. I don't know who saw that. Kelly Schaefer came down and they discussed it and made it like it was easy.
Yeah.
And it wasn't.
Oh, jeez, yeah.
That's a great shot.
I thought the one on the wing, I thought that was too flat for the triple there, but shows you what I know. Oh, wait.
That was a tough shot, and it swings things around in this end in a hurry. Eunjung Kim goes from sitting 3 to now facing 3. And without last rock, looking for the come around.
They do have the backing here, so it's just important to get it buried here. It does bounce off the backing.
Backing, but I wasn't sure they'd be shot rock if they got to it. Definitely not shot. Did stay for second. Still, when it's that deep and having rubbed off a little bit, room to play this with heavy draw, maybe almost hack weight, and try to get to the stone that was just thrown. Could sit 4 after this. By the front one.
Plenty of room
now
there.
starting to curl. Probably would have liked to roll a little farther than that, but does sit for 4th right now.
Now, I think it's high enough where there is a hit and roll to sit shot rock.
Probably could.
It looks like they're electing a straight draw.
I guess if you were prepared to draw on the last one, you may as well be prepared to draw again.
Yeah. I suppose if, just like the last one, if you're just a hair heavy, then you always get that little tap and roll there.
Certainly some risk in going at it this way for the Koreans. You always run the risk playing the end like this that it could be a very big score against you, but you only need one really good draw to perhaps take the whole end away from Abby Ackland.
Yeah, that's pretty good effort there.
Going to be tough to get that out. You can maybe move it far enough to sit 2.
Yeah, I suppose you're okay if this ticks the guard over, right?
Yeah, peeling the guard on purpose wouldn't even necessarily be a bad shot here. Rusher could pick this one up right away. Now they backed away, so she's by the guard. Now wants to stay a little bit on the high side so she doesn't put it onto her own.
Does.
She was always going to jam onto that one.
Yeah.
She just didn't want to touch the one at the back of the forefoot. So I think with where her shooter ended up, sitting 3 right now. That overhead does seem to confirm that. If you're Eunjung Kim, you'd love to be able to get into the pocket of the 2 yellows, but how do you get there?
Yeah. Yeah, that's...
There's not room on the out turn with the guard where it is, and you'd have to go really wide on the in turn.
Ooh, I think they are going to try to, yeah, they're going to try to get there with the intern there.
They got to play the intern, yeah. It's not necessarily the shot you'd love to be playing, but there's too many yellows hanging around, and you have to put this one in a spot where she can't just play to pick it out. The only place to do that is to put it in front of the yellows.
First just skips rocks here.
Made a nice draw with her final one in the 3rd to pick up the extra point. Needs a good freeze here to try to take an end away from Abby Ackland. Facing 3, looking for the freeze, and the Brushers jump this one right away. Not just an issue of the weight here, but this is starting to curl.
Got it.
Well, her line ended up okay. She didn't get right down to the stone.
Yeah. If your team...
Abby Ackland could try to pick it, but it's tough to not jam it on the red stone and leave it perhaps for shot rock.
Yeah.
She's going to have to lose her shooter to do that.
So do you just kind of throw big weight at this in hopes that if it does jam, you may get to spin out here, or...?
Depends, I'm not sure which one she's trying to jam it off of. She might be trying to jam it off of the yellow and just make sure that you play the red and across the top of the yellow and have it spin all the way out the side. You'll lose the shooter. Probably be sitting 2 now unless it catches the red going across. You might be trying to kill 3 stones here. 2 reds and a yellow to sit 3, bring that one at the top of the 8-foot back in. That might be easier than trying to pick it. Run this red across the top of the yellow. It'll be spinning when it hits the other red stone, and you hope it spins all the way across and out of play. She won't be light. Big weight here. Abby Ackland looking to move some things around in that 4-foot area.
Wow, and actually...
Makes the hit, jams it off the yellow, catches the red, and did it spin far enough, though?
Look, yeah, it spun up at the end there. I think it's...
She was...
Kim's rock.
I think so too. I think the red stayed for shot. She hit it very close to what she was looking for, what I was talking about. You wanted to spin it all the way across, but it didn't spin that hard. A little too full onto the second red stone. Still, Kim's in some trouble. 2nd, 3rd, and 4th belonging to Ackland. If you just made a play on second shot rock, you could leave a crosshouse double for 3.
Yeah, although the one... Yeah, they would have to run it, though. There's the
You could hit the back one right on the nose.
Yeah, I think just have
Sit two and there'd be no double, but it's not the easiest hit though.
Oh gosh, yeah.
You can't really make it's tough to make a play on it. It's there to play it from the out turn side, but the center guard's in your eye line. So they're talking about hitting what I think is shot stone. Shot and second are very close, or pardon me, second shot stone and rolling towards the guards. Could try to hit it just a hair high, make the double and sit two that way, but you don't have very far to roll. If you could ever make the double and sit two, I don't think she tries the cross house double. It's not worth the risk when it's only for 2 points. You'd like to make sure you score here.
Final rock for Team Kinderson.
Nothing out of the brushers yet. Just cleaning. Makes the hit, drives it by the stone at the back. Take a quick look around the outside, because if you had the chance to simply draw for two, you probably would, but I think it's still Kim sitting shot rock, so decision time. Do you make a play at shot, and it'd be tough to get to the inside of that and get two that way, or do you play the double, which would be for three?
Yep, looks like they are lining up this double here.
Yeah, I think, they did look at the shot. If you could get to the inside of that shot stone, they might have played just for two. But the problem that you have when you have to come around that stone at the top of the 8 foot and get to the inside, anything on the outside, she rolls too far, she's still only getting 1 point. So you may as well take the chance for three here. Problem is the rock you're hitting first is actually third shot. You've got to make the double to score. Final stone, Abby Ackland. Chance for a double to pick up a big 3 points here. Brusher's picking it up. Makes the hit, comes across, catches the second stone. All the way out the back, and the shooter hangs on in the 12 foot. It's going to be 3 points on the board for Abby Ackland. They left it for her. She made it. She'll take a 5-2 lead into the fifth end.
We asked Saskatchewan what they know about 5G.
More speed? More innovation?
It's gonna make our lives a whole heck of a lot easier.
This is what 5G looks like.
Better, faster.
Sounds like one more G. Sounds pretty good.
I don't know what it means.
All you really need to know is the future of 5G is here and will continue improving through investments in network technology.
Hello everyone and welcome to the 2022 Western Showdown, the largest international women's curling event in Canada this season. We're so glad you've decided to join us to see some of the top female curlers in the world participate in this event. My name is Jim Grundy. I'm the branch director of RBC Dominion Securities here in Swift Current. Our branch is not only a huge fan and support of curling in our community, we're so proud to be supporting the Western Showdown for its inaugural year. RBC is committed to working with our community partners to promote and celebrate vibrancy in sport in the communities in which we live. Thank you to everyone from the Western Showdown team for putting together this amazing event. On behalf of RBC, enjoy the tournament.
Big shot from Abby Ackland to close out that fourth end. She picks up 3 points. Now with a 5-2 lead over the Koreans as we begin the fifth end.
Yeah, it interesting how that end played out. You know, if the other Kim Rock was a little bit more open, you probably would have seen Abby make a play on that one instead for 2.
The end was already started as we came back here. So the one thing I'm a little surprised about is that we even see a center guard. I don't know whether they called for it there or if it just came up a little bit short, but regardless, we get the center guard. Kim throws up the corner, and now the come around attempt. A lot of room by the guard. Russian looking to try to get a little extra here. Get a piece of that in behind cover.
So the question is, do you come down to it, you tap it, or do you go under your corner here?
Well, I don't think you're tapping it when you're down 3, but other than that, it's preference. We did see them play a shot similar to this, attempt shot similar to this in end number 3, and ticked the guard on the way by. So they got another rock into the rings that way. Does opt for the tap and gets it all the way through the back. You know, we can even go back to the second end, and I can remember them hitting the open stone on the lead's first stone. So it does seem to be a bit of a tendency for the Koreans. They want to deal with that center line area as soon as they can, and then try to use the corner once the middle is open for them.
Sweeper's indicating this one is a little up, having to get on the sweep side to make it curl. Well, it does roll further out, yeah.
And there, what we were just talking about, she's dealt with the middle now, going to try to use that corner guard. That might just be a comfort level for this Korean team. They just want to deal with the middle first. You'd see a lot of Canadian teams wouldn't have made any kind of hit on that stone down 3.
It's got to go to get this in the rings here.
Going to come up a little bit short. Second guard's not bad for you when you're trying to generate some offense, but it does give Abby Ackland a chance to use her center guard and try to keep the play away from those 2 corners. Again, nice weight, but not able to get that buried. Just fully exposed. Kim asking for the hit.
Let's roll to an interesting spot there.
Got a nice roll out of it. Corner in behind the yellow stones. It is Kim sitting shot rock. Ackland could see most of it, but a little danger here. She could, she overcurls on this, takes her own. And if she hits it a little thin, rolls too far, you'll see Eunjung Kim try to use those corner guards.
Pretty good.
Makes the hit, rolls right back into that same area. It's Ackland sitting 2. Kim's first thought is, can we see enough of that to hit and roll in behind cover for shot rock? It can't look good from the hacks as we're looking at it. She's got maybe just all. So playing maybe tap back 8-foot weight. More important to get shot here than it is to kill that stone.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you get it just, you know, the Ackland rock behind tee, it's helpful for you later in the end, possibly. Does need to finish here, so sweeper's trying to carve it in there. It is starting to move.
Needs to be tight to that guard if she wanted to get in behind cover at all. It's going to tap it all the way through, but shooter stays open. I wonder if that wasn't just a little bit more weight than they were looking for.
Yeah, I mean, with the yellow rock going all the way through the house, you gotta think that was maybe more than they needed, but again, could be just a preference thing.
Well, just looking at where Kim tapped, I think she was looking for less weight. And of course, if you broomed for back 8-foot and she's thrown back line, it's not going to get that last little bit of finish that you were hoping for. Certainly understand her looking for the roll. It's not looking like a blank end here. So you'd like to score 2. With that rock hitting just a little bit on the outside, the opportunity there for Kelly Schaefer, and this one needs to curl as well. She'll make the hit, roll a little bit further away from that guard. Well, do you like the double or do you like the hit and rolling? And that seems to be what she's asked.
Yeah, I mean, I think
showed them both.
I think you got to play the double here, right? Brings the blank into play. If Team Ackland will hit the. If you make the double and stay, you hope for if Ackland hits and rolls out, then you're going behind the corner anyways, right?
I'm going to play devil's advocate for you. Does keeping the blank in play really do you any good when you're 3 down and there'll only be 3 ends left?
That's true, yeah.
Or do you play hard for the deuce? I think she's even looking at the indication was to hit and play the big roll all the way across behind the corners.
Yeah.
And this might be a straight draw.
Yeah, it looks like ice for straight draw here. Now, do you like drawing to just behind the center or not under your corner there?
I think the concern would be is if you try to draw around the corners and make it too good, Abby Ackland's just going to come around the center and take your end away from you.
Yeah.
Again, this has got lots of room by the guard, but draw weight should finish. Brings it right into the top corner of the button. be a little deeper than they would have liked.
Yeah, I was gonna ask.
Kelly
That's
Scha-
maybe just maybe a foot deep.
Kelly Schaefer supposed to just freeze onto the face of it, and I like that call. If you freeze, she shrunk the scoring area.
Oh, it looks like they're lining up this run though.
Abby looking at the run. That's not bad either. Even if you miss it, you open it up, and you're 3 up here. 2's not the end of the world.
Yep.
You'd hate to play something delicate here and perhaps bring 3 into play. We've also seen she has no problem throwing the big weights, so probably likes these kinds of shots.
Yeah, I'll definitely say as a tucker myself, I'm always playing the hit or the run if I get a chance for it. First skips rocks here. Pretty close.
Looking for the run back.
Makes it.
Makes the stone in the rings go away. Loses the run back stone as well. Leaves Kim with the same choice she had before the last one. Kind of looks like they might be a little bit more tempted to play the double right now.
Yeah.
And I think with that broom placement, that's what they've opted for.
Yeah, and I guess at this point here, right, your best case is like you draw in the center, you hope they miss the run back that they just threw, and so maybe just try to get out of this with a blank, I get at this point.
Yeah, it does shorten the game on you, but you hate to get forced. So Eunjung Kim looking for the double here with her first. Makes the hit, catches the second one, and does keep the shooter right there. Ackland now will try to make the hit, and she could still put some pressure on if she could roll behind cover. Final stone for Ackland here in the 5th end. He's got a 3-point lead. Looking to hit and roll behind cover and perhaps make the blank at least difficult for Eunjung Kim. Makes the hit, gets a bit of a roll, but does stay out in the open. So Eunjung Kim will have the opportunity to blank here in end number 5, try to keep that last rock advantage into the 6th, trailing by 3. Made the double in this same area on her first one, so she's got a pretty good idea what it's going to do. Rusher's picking this one up a little bit early.
Going hard for line,
just
yeah.
Cleaning.
Yeah, that's well done.
Makes the hit, makes it look easy. Puts the zeros on the board here in end number 5, and Ackland will continue to lead 5-2 when we come back for the 6th.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.
Sean Joyce, Mark No with you here from the RBC Dominion Security Classic on CBC Gem and Sasktel Curling Stadium. B event qualifier, Abby Ackland, has had things going her way so far. She's got a 5-2 lead as we begin play here in the 6th end and calls for that first stone into the rings. And this, Mark, I think is the first time to my recollection that we can see the Kim team ignore a center stone to start the end. They're looking for the corner guard here.
Yeah, they're going to have to generate some offense here pretty quick. You know, the 3-point, big difference between a 3-point and a 2-point lead here. You know, you can't go deuce force.
Deuce force deuce would get you an extra end.
Get you to the extra end, and then you're gonna have to steal. So a little bit harder to do, right? Because you're gonna have to get a force and a steal out of there. But this team Kim is very capable. I got a chance to watch their game earlier today. They did get a big 4-ender earlier, thanks to a nice, pretty long run back. So team very capable, and we'll see what they're doing. But at the same time, this Ackland team has been pretty good with their hits, so be a good challenge.
Well, we were just talking about it last, and the Korean team seems to have had a preference through most of this game to take care of the opening up the middle first and then play the corners. So forcing them to Scoreboard, forcing them to do this now has taken them a little bit outside their comfort zone. They've got to ignore some stones in the middle, try to set something up on the corner.
And yeah, I'm actually kind of honestly surprised they're not playing a tick here. Because I have seen them play this tick and roll to a couple corners a couple times now. But looks like
nothing wrong with this strategy though. This is something, yeah, this is what you'd see more traditionally from some of the Canadian teams, but it has not been the style that this Korean team has played so far today. Nice weight on the draw, but it stays out in the open. Ackland sitting shot rock right now on the top, and this is second shot they're making a play on. Still just the 5th stone of the end, so they have to be careful not to over curl and clip the guard. Makes the hit, but the shooter will roll all the way across and out of play. So it continues to be Ackland sitting 1, top of the 8-foot. 2 guards, 1 on the center line, 1 on the corner, and then Eunjung Kim going to try to use her corner guard one more time.
Weight appears to be all right for this, just a matter of getting the curl right. They've got plenty of room by the guard here.
Sweeping for curl early. I don't mind if this one deep. They weren't going to get shot rock if they buried it anyway. The whole point here is to try to get a rock in a spot where Abby Ackland can't get to it. We'll figure out how to make it shot rock later.
Looks like to be a little bit of discussion. Do you like go ahead and chasing that rock or peeling the guard at this point?
She can see half. You may as well chase, but now the situation has changed versus her last one. This is the 7th stone of the end, so you can play this a little bit tight. If you clip the guard and peel it, so be it. You just don't want to go by on the broom side.
A little urgency from the sweepers here. Does appear to clear the guard. Yep.
Makes the hit, rolls to the back of the 8-foot, but kind of in behind that center area, and that actually could be a stone that works to the advantage of the Koreans. You may see them switch from trying to come around the corner to going around the middle now. That rock at the back is one that even if you only get half buried here, it's something that could be jammed on.
Yeah, so if you're throwing this, and it looks like she's tapping basically top 4 on the outturn side there to kind of maybe set up that jam.
Rushers have not touched this one yet. Starting to curl now. We did see plenty of curl here 2 ends ago. Just by the front one. That's why they didn't want to lay a brush to it a little bit deep. It does stay for second shot, however. Kelly Schaefer now on the in-turn for the left-hander, trying to come around. Not looking to come to the back ones, wants to keep this up high, but wanted to get by her own stone at the top of the 8-foot, not going to. Sits on the corner of it. Probably sitting 2 right now. Now this could be an opportunity for the Koreans to make a play on those 2 at the front. Whether she tries to kill them or just move them around, that's for her to decide. But she was going to have to deal with that shot stone at the top of the 8-foot at some point, and this might be her best chance.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's their best chance. So just kind of hitting it, maybe just a hair on the high side, and just kind of roll out to the wings here for the shooter. And
you can even play this with quieter weight. You don't really have to kill the yellows. You just want to get them out from behind the guard. And hitting it on the nose wouldn't be the end of the world. You'd leave your shooter in a pretty good spot.
Yeah, I think that's the most important thing, is to keep your shooter around here.
By the front one. Does get to the nose. Kills the one, leaves the other at the tee line.
Are they able to move that Yellowstone far enough? Or...
I believe that stone that rolled over might still be shot rock, but that red stone at the top of the 12 is actually only 4th, but it's the stone that's probably in the best position for the Korean team right now. And Abby Ackland looking for the double on the reds, is she?
Yeah, no, I think that, or yeah, even if they get rid of both those rocks in the back, right, they're not helping them at this point.
Only thing you'd worry about is hitting this one a little bit thin and jamming it onto the yellow. Just going to over curl, not going to touch the second stone at the back at all.
Yeah, that could have been disastrous if they took the guard, but did get it by.
Still, now it's Kim sitting second shot. Shot rock is open. They're going to play the draw for now. Tell you what, a good draw here, and 3's not out of the question.
Yeah, hit a draw, and then you think we'll see Ackland make a run
That
in the center?
rock at the back is going to be a difficult one to get out if you make this good draw, yeah.
Oh, thanks to Tyler in the chat here, just giving some clarification. So we've got Mackenzie Elias playing lead, second Sarah Oliver. That's showing as the lead on Curling Zone, and then third, Kelly Schaefer, and then skipped by Megan Walter.
Okay, so that's not even happy.
Yeah.
And Megan is the one we don't have a
headshot
headshot of.
Yeah, thanks for that, Tyler.
That draw comes a little bit deep. It does sit for shot rock. But it gives Megan Walter a chance to come down and sit on top of it, take the end away. The only thing I'm looking at, and they didn't look at it, if she comes all the way down to that, is there a double off the yellow on the side?
Yeah, I think
sit 3.
Yeah, I think that's your best bet. Yeah.
Hard to say until it comes to rest. Well, it'll be a flat double, but it might be there if she's all the way to it.
It'll be interesting to see if it's there. Do they like to throw it now? Do they kind of save it to their last one? This one's got some curling to do. The weight's pretty good there, but is it by?
Well, it's still the Korean sitting shot rock. So now a chance to make a draw. They can get that one to the top of the 4-foot. Take the line they just threw, put it top 4. And you're still looking at possibly 3.
Yeah.
Interesting that Megan's didn't curl. She wasn't that heavy for what they were playing. They were trying to come down to it. She's only maybe a foot strong and totally missed the line.
Yeah, it looked like it was, I don't know if it was wide out of hand or just kind of floating on her, but yeah, even by the hog line, it looked like there was a lot of space there.
Weight was reasonably close to what they were playing. Regardless, it's a chance here for Eunjung Kim to make the come around, perhaps sit 2 and set up for a chance to tie this game here in the 6th.
This one appears to be sliding pretty good here.
Waiting on it to curl, starting to go now. Still got plenty of room by the guard.
You can switch here. Or needed for weight, I guess, I suppose, yeah.
Comes to rest. Top 8-foot it is. Shot rock. I'm a little surprised they didn't try to finish that a little harder.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of almost imploring them to do.
I'll have to admit my screen's a little choppy, but I thought they were worried it was deep, and it stopped in plenty of time.
Yeah.
Now it might be that they didn't want to come a foot deeper and have Megan freeze to it and take the back one away. She could just pick that out, concede 2. They're looking at the in-turn draw as well. Now that might be the shot to take everything away, but
yeah,
it's not without some risk.
Yeah, I suppose this is maybe purposely done, right? Because at least they're talking about it, right?
It may well have been that they didn't want to be any deeper than that. If she picks it out, you're still going to have a shot at 2. If you come a foot deeper and she freezes to it, you've got 1 in your pocket, but a very hard shot to get to.
So we'll see what the.
Are they
negatives
wondering if
say.
they can see enough? The discussion is, can they see enough to play the red onto the red at the back and spin it enough
Oh yeah.
so that they would be sitting shot?
I mean, I think it's there, right? But then Vieira is flirting with the guard, right?
Yeah, that's the thing. There's not really anything you could jam on that's going to hurt you, but if you ever click the guard.
With the scoreboard, I think the intern draw makes the most sense here. But
I would argue that with the scoreboard, picking it out probably makes
oh
the
yeah,
most sense.
actually I do like that. Now that you mention it, yeah.
And I expect that's, it's a plan B. You throw the hit and try to sweep for the double. It's a tough double anyway, because even if you jam it, it's still you're counting on it spinning. And granted, it's not dead lined up on the red that's behind it, so it probably spins a bit. But the key is to make sure you get the top one out for sure.
For sure, yeah. Final rock for Team Ackland.
Oh, set that release a little bit.
Oh, the hand goes up. That's
This
not
is
a good
still
sign.
floating out. Sweeping for whatever curl they can get. She's going to go right
does
by
she
everything.
pick?
And
Back one out.
took the other red with it though as well. So it's just going to be a chance.
Same draw for three, basically.
Three, but out of nowhere. Yeah, you could just see that, and she knew she had done it as well. She threw her hand up right away, like you said. She set that release just a bit, and in that spot, it would not come back.
Yeah, that spot, that way.
Eunjung Kim with a nice draw on her first one. Here with her final stone, chance to score 3. They did look at it. It's a little bit hard to tell from the camera angle, but I think if she comes right to the face of the one she just threw on her first one, she would be third shot.
Yeah. So we'll likely see. Does this look like the same IC, or maybe a touch more?
Might be a touch more. Certainly not worried about trying to bury this one. So take a little bit more ice, leave it up to the brushers.
Last rock for Team Kim here, looking to get full 8-foot here.
Trailing by 3, she's got 2 right now.
Sweep.
Needs a full 8-foot.
Sweepers
have backed away.
This should be a little scary, but should be okay. Oh, I jinxed it a little bit.
Kelly Schaefer meets it at the tee line and escorts it a little too far at the back. So it's just going to be the 2 for Eunjung Kim. She closes the score within 5-4, but it'll be Team Ackland with last rock in the 7th.
Sasktel Be Kind Online wants to stop cyberbullying. Want in on the action? We award up to $1,000 for youth initiatives that help spread kindness and prevent bullying. What great idea do you have to help stop bullying? Sasktel can help. Go to BeKindOnline.com and apply for a grant today. Together, we can make a difference.
Seventh end just about to begin here in this B-Qualifier. The winner will advance to the championship playoffs tomorrow morning. The loser will get another chance tonight. Team Ackland in the strongest position right now. They've got a 1-point lead in last rock as we begin play here in the 7th end. Eunjung Kim just missed a glorious opportunity to tie things up. And it looks like with the placement of this guard, they're going to perhaps look for 2 center guards to send.
Yeah, I mean, Of course, they would have liked him to get in that 3 there, but even if they get a force here, got a chance for 2 in the last. But yeah, I'd like to see. Could we see double centers here?
I think Team Kim would like to see anything but a blank end, and of course, Team Ackland, they're thinking blank or deuce.
Yeah. So.
And you know, and the Kim team has watched this whole game. They know that they know as well. This Ackland team can hit well. You're going to have to put some rocks in play if you want to make sure they can't blank. This probably helps the decision a little bit. That rock slides to the back forward. They definitely wanted to keep that in front of the tee line, so now can afford to ignore that, throw the long guard.
For this guard here, are we wanting to kind of stagger off the first guard here, or does it need to be dead center line? What's your take on this one?
If it's me throwing it against the way that this Ackland team has been hitting so far, I want to keep the 2 guards dead in line.
Okay.
I think with any angle at all, they're going to try the double peel, and they've been hitting so well. Can't play the double peel yet, of course, but they're going to start peeling. You have to expect they're going to peel on the 6th stone no matter what the situation in the house looks like.
Any reason for Team Ackland to play a tick shot here instead of just going in, or?
You know, when you've got your skip is listed as your second and the lead is a sub, I don't think you're playing the tick shot. They're not familiar with each other enough. Likely, we don't know how many chances they've had to play together, but this appears to be a bit of a makeshift lineup for the weekend. And although some of the players on tour make that tick shot look like it's pretty easy, it's not, and it is a team shot. So when you're not used to playing with each other, it's maybe not the way to go. Kim's got things going her way now. The first draw attempt from the Ackland team went deep, and that one, just biting the 12-foot, actually works as a 3rd guard.
So there's room here. Just got to get the right weight here. It's hard to switch here to bury it. Oh, I'm actually having to go for weight.
It's going to come up a little bit short of the rings.
Wow, and she's not peeling this. I guess you can kind of go all out on the offense here to try to score 3. Yeah, if you make this, it's really good. If you're hanging out there a little ways, then you're wondering why you didn't peel the guard.
I'm going to be wondering that no matter what.
Okay. And this, all right, race to the 4-foot. Who's going to get there first?
Once again, leaves that just in the 12-foot, and again, it works as a guard.
They are having to take further and further ice here. Oh gosh, I wonder if you just don't go back to the intern side, because you've got that little bit of backing there.
Rush is working this one early.
This may be a bit of a flat spot.
Well, they were on that early and switched early as well too, so I think just light out of her hand. Now it's getting to the point for Abby Ackland. You could hit a stone like this on the nose. It's getting hard for Kim to even get into the 4-foot area.
Oh. Is this one over curling on them?
Does over curl's going to clip her own stone. Removes it from play, loses the shooter. Kim looking at coming in between the two red stones or off of the one that was just thrown.
Yeah, I mean, I think. I mean, it's hard to, play off, call it, where it's off of it. But yeah, I think that's really good if they can get that right and just really roll under the mess in the center here.
It does look like a tight port from the hack in, but from the curler we've seen, it's probably there to make it as a straight draw too.
Oh yeah. I think it's just a matter of getting it, getting the right weight here, and then not. It seems if they're sweeping early, it's holding on that outside line here, and you see this again. They jump it pretty early, but this one does seem to be a little bit inside of maybe the previous one, so this one should finish.
Been going off and on a little bit. Definitely got nicer line, but still going to have to come off of her own now. Is it going to have enough weight to get in for shot? They didn't really get very far past their own, probably left a double. It's another one where, again, you saw the brushers wanting to pick it up early and they were waiting for a line call. They really needed that to be a little bit deeper.
Yeah.
I think this comes down to preference of the thrower and the hacks. The initial call was what would have been Kelly's out turn. She prefers the in this spot, so they've just the broom a little bit. She might have been a little on the full side too. Makes contact with the first, catches the second one thick enough, and does drive it out the side. So it's Team Ackland sitting 3 right now. Hard to get around the out turn side now with where that shooter stopped. So she is going back to that in turn you were talking about earlier, Mark.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're having to navigate some items that are a bit closer to the rings here, but I mean, you've got the backing there, and I think it makes sense here. Again, sweepers on this early, backing off, and
you were wondering if it might be getting a little flat down the center line. This one wider all the way down, and maybe is just that little bit strong when she stays out in that wider stuff. Comes down, nudges that stone. Megan Walters indicating it is the yellow that's still shot rock. Her first thought is to play the draw. I think as much as anything, you know that if you make the play on the stone at the back, Kim is going to draw.
Yeah.
So get there first and take it away.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, the only other thing would be if you hit and you nose or you flop out a little bit to the outside. Is there a hit and roll there? It is behind T, so yeah, we'll likely see just the kind of draw attempt here. So, I mean, I think the draw makes the most sense, right? You can be, gosh, you can be anywhere from top 4 to top 8, and you're pretty happy, yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Shot or second even.
Yeah. But also the way this team is hitting here, right? If you you leave it, you know, somewhere in like that top 8 foot and, you know, kind of have a straight run at it, you're pretty happy with that.
You don't want to be too long here. If you're short,
oh yeah, if you're short,
you
you're
could
wrapping around.
opt to play the double on the other side. Sit 2. She wouldn't be in a great spot to steal, but she could suddenly be in a really strong spot to force.
Yep. A lot of decisions to be made when you don't peel the guard here. Although, like I said, I'm always a fan of this, and I'm very guilty of not peeling when maybe I should.
And you know, the other school of thought in this is, you know, that the Koreans were going to try to force you, so maybe you let them force you to score 2 or 3.
Yeah, that's true.
Gets a corner of that stone under cover, but did come to the back 4 foot behind the tee line, and it gives Eunjung Kim a chance to follow that down.
Yeah,
Might be able to freeze on it for shot rock and still have a chance to steal.
Yeah, absolutely. There's space there, but it's getting tighter. Even though Team Ackland is sitting 1-2 here. Good freeze here. Definitely flips the end back in favor of Team Kim. First, it skips rocks here.
Rushers had picked it up early, now backing away, waiting for a sweep call. Really curling now, has to get by that stone at the top. Oh, she's got a nice line coming by.
Really
Can they
good.
get this in there?
That's really good.
Dead buried corner of the yellow.
That's very, very good.
Shot rock. Can't see it. The only rock she could raise onto it is that yellow one on the 8 foot on the other side, and it's at the wrong angle. It'll just jam everything.
Yeah, that curled more. Yeah, I thought they would be able. I didn't think they would be able to get that far inside of it. That's really good.
That's dead buried on a rock in the 12 foot. I think the discussion now is, do we have to make some kind of play to move that rock in the 12 foot just so we have a chance to that one with the last one?
Yeah, there's, oh gosh, yeah, I think you have to make a play on the one on the right hand side from the thrower's perspective, just to even open up the button here. But I guess if you do that, then Kim,
then
Kim
you're
draws.
playing for 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kim draws there and goes top 4 on that side, you know.
And it could be a steal of 2. Yeah. Let me ask you this one, Mark, while they discuss the shot, because this could come down. It could come down to this at the end. If you're Team Ackland, and remember it's Megan Walter skipping. If you've got a choice here between scoring 1 or giving up 1, which way are you going?
You know, as good as the team Ackland's been hitting, or Megan's team's been hitting here, I think you're okay with the steal of 1, right? And just kind of hit your way out of trouble, but you're gonna have to start feeling stuff, yeah.
Versus a 2-point lead without.
No, you give up steal.
That's
hammer.
what it could come down to. If it's 1 point either way, you either keep the hammer in a tie game, or you can go 2 up without. And there are teams that you would see keep the hammer.
Yeah. I could see them making a case to keep hammer, right? You know, and I wonder if what the sports psychologists would say about the situation, right? You know, like if you're trying really hard to to get a score here and you don't do it, is that really bad for you? Or if you agree, hey, I'm going to give up a steal and one, you give up a steal and one, you feel better going into the last end, you know?
So I think the discussion now, it looks like they're trying to figure out if there's a spot where they can put this rock that they might be able to use it to get the red one out with the last one, but at the same time not opening anything up. If they make a play on that yellow stone at the top 12 foot to open up the red stone, Eunjung Kim's just going to suck another one around to the top of the 4 foot.
Yeah. Yeah, I think this is...
And you'd be facing 2. So can you draw this into a spot where you'd have an angle slash perhaps available with the last one? Eunjung Kim's still going to have something with her last one, but you'll make her throw a different shot. She might have to throw the wide out turn and see if she can't sit 2 that way. Or maybe she just throws a guard.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's an interesting situation, right? If you throw something on the out turn side, or for Kim, if you throw something on the out turn side, right, and you miss it, then does Abby just kind of go in off that one? We'll see.
Megan Walter with the in-turn draw here. Just looking to put this stone in a position where she might be able to use it with her last one, and this is really curling. Does not want to leave this overlapped on the top stone.
Yeah, that's...
Well, that takes away any chance to make a play on shot stone. Unless Eunjung Kim gives you a chance. Really, even if she plays something in the out-turn side,
yeah,
you might be able to roll toward shot stone, but you're never going to move it. Everything's angled that way.
Yeah, I mean...
I think it's important here to try to sit 2, because if you just leave the house the way it is, Megan Walter will throw the last one away and concede 1.
How do we get there?
You know, with as much curl as she just got, the in-turn might still be there.
Yeah.
If she could get to the corner of her own, it might still be there. That last one overcurled so much.
Yeah, I honestly do not like playing anything on this out turn side. You know, I mean, you're drawing.
I don't hate the out turn. I don't think Megan Walter's going to play for 1. So if you it's open, she's just going to hit it and give you 1. Also, if I'm Eunjung Kim, I'm not sure that I mind if Megan Walter takes 1, gives me the hammer. Yeah. She had her chance for 3 last end. This ice and swift current and the rocks are very conducive to playing some offense. There have been a lot of 3s scored.
Last rock for Team Kim here.
So looking to draw, see if she can catch enough of the 4 foot on the out turn side to sit 2. That would put some pressure on Megan Walter.
Picked it up, and I think they're maybe abandoning this now. Does look like it's got some room here. Oh, okay, yeah, they abandoned it. Didn't think the weight was there, so.
Yeah, I think, though, you're right. It ended up, they knew it was going to be a little bit short, so they figured just leave a guard. Takes away anything she might be able to run in. I don't think she was going to anyway.
Yeah, it's just the little cat and mouse game, right? If you leave her a shot, is she going to try to take it from 1, or she's just going to keep hammer going into the last end? they're still looking.
It's hard to know for sure, but I think they're looking at, is there any way we can angle one of these to get to that red stone? And I just don't see an angle for them. All the rocks that are closest to the rings are yellow, so if you had an angle, you might take a run at it, but it just doesn't look like there's one there.
I mean, I don't think you can slice this.
That's what Megan's looking at. Can you slice this one she just threw over the top of the one that's biting the 12-foot enough to have it come straight back? Or is she playing a double tap draw? That's a lot of ice.
I would imagine from what we've seen from Megan, this has got to be the slice. And I suppose you're essentially getting a free shot at this, right?
That's too much ice for the slice.
Yeah.
This is she's playing the double tap to the butt.
Double tap, okay.
So her preference is the 2 up. I don't think she'll be heartbroken if she doesn't make this and keeps the hammer coming home in a tie game.
If she makes it, great. If not, it's okay. Team Ackland on the rock here.
For Eunjung Kim, mission accomplished, I guess. She didn't want to see a blank end here. She's not going to. Again, Walter needs a little bit more curl with her last one. Not going to get it, just rubs that stone. Slides harmlessly through the back. It'll be a steal of 1 for Kim. We're all tied up after 7 ends of play in this B qualifier. It'll be Team Ackland with last rock in the 8th.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 2022 Western Showdown, the largest international women's curling event in Canada this season. We're so glad you've decided to join us to see some of the top female curlers in the world participate in this event. My name is Jim Grundy. I'm the branch director of RBC Dominion Securities here in Swift Current. Our branch is not only a huge fan and support of curling in our community, we're so proud to be supporting the Western Showdown for its inaugural year. RBC is committed to working with our community partners to promote and celebrate vibrancy in sport in the communities in which we live. Thank you to everyone from the Western Showdown team for putting together this amazing event. On behalf of RBC, enjoy the tournament.
Sean Joyce, Mark No with you here from the RBC Dominion Securities Western Showdown. Happy to have had you all join us for this B qualifier action. We've had an exciting game, lots of rocks in play, and every reason to believe we're going to see one more end like that.
Yeah, no, this has been a heck of a game, right? Just a lot of back and forth, you know. Team Kim doing a good job coming back here. Had a chance for 3, ended up being short, and then made possibly the best draw of the game with that little inside freeze there in this last end. That ultimately was the stealing rock.
Well, you wondered about the tick last end, and here, even in the 8th, a team that a couple of players playing out of position and a sub or 2 subs perhaps on board. Just not comfortable trying that shot here, even in the 8th end of a tie game. Critical to get this rock in front of the tee line. They did slide deep on the one last end, and that's where some of the trouble started. Rushers were on this one early.
Hard for this one here. This one appears to be very close to the guard. Does get it by. Now, it's gonna be interesting here.
Comes to rest top 4, maybe a little nibble of the button. Can indicate they wanted to follow that down, or are they throwing the second guard here?
They're throwing the second guard here, and I was just going to ask your take on that, Sean. Here, I mean, with it, I mean that's a pretty good rock there in the top 4, but you're putting a lot of pressure on the rest of your team here throwing the second center.
Yeah, I think you have to throw the second center here. You know that as soon as she's able to, Megan Walter's going to start cleaning up the middle, so you have to make that difficult.
And the guard is made. I've been impressed by Team Kim here and their ability to throw these kind of longer guards. It's a good amount of separation between the two.
This is a better start here for the Ackland team here in end 8 than what they had in end 7, though they slid deep in the 7th end. This one top 4, and if they can get another one in the top of the house here, it does mean that Eunjung Kim's going to have to move these yellows at some point in time, and while she's doing that, that gives you time to play the guards.
Let's see this. Yep.
Would have liked to have gotten right down to her own. That left room for the freeze.
All right, now if you're calling the shot here, are you calling just dead freeze, or are you going to try to get greedy and call it to get to it and bump it just a little bit?
I think you have to make sure you're going to get to it, and then you sweep to bump it if you can. But I think it's critical to make sure you get the line on this one.
Yeah, if you're ever bumping open, it's pretty much a miss. Yeah.
Yeah, if you hit thin on the bump and roll open, Megan Walter will just hit and roll back under cover. If you slide by it, she'll peel a guard.
By the top one.
She's got an ice line coming in here. The question is now, is she going to have enough weight?
One?
Yeah, needed just a little bit more weight, I think, but ends up with that little spin at the end in a not bad spot for her.
Huh?
Not enough room for the Ackland team to hit and roll away from everything. They'd have to jam it onto their stone in the 4-foot, so looking for the nose hit. Nothing out of the brushers. Can't be on the outside of this at all.
No. It's starting to move there. How thin are we hitting this? Oh.
Just enough to get it by her own stone. Well, if you knew you were going to get it by, that's the way you'd want to hit it. You did move it as far off the center line. Good.
Very scary. Jeez.
Kim pretty much has to make a play on it. The question is how much weight. Do you just tap it back?
Yeah, it's...
You could play it towards the stone at the top of the 4-foot, try to move them, but then you're going to roll off the center line, and Team Ackland will have a chance to peel something. Looks like that might be what they're lining up, though. This might be your chance to deal with shot rock. You know you're still going to have something to bury around. It's unlikely they can peel all 3 of the rocks near the center line. Makes the hit, does jam that stone off the top of the 4-foot.
That is a good effort. I thought that was just going to be too thin, but good weight and good little sweeping to get that last little bit out.
Leaving that stone in the corner of the 12-foot like that doesn't hurt them either, because now it's a little risky to play the double peel. You'd have to peel it towards that. And if you ever miss the one if you missed the guard, you could end up jamming and bringing it back into the middle. It'd be tempting here to just play the straight peel.
Yeah.
She's going to give the double a look, I think, here. Brush has been off and on, so this is close. Makes the first, makes the second, but jams it and catches the stone at the top of the 12-foot. Does spin it off, but still 2 center guards, and they're staggered.
Yeah. Wow. So a good draw here, and
you're going to see another double
peel attempt. Yeah.
Attempt. My tendency would be to think it doesn't matter where this stone goes, you're going to see a double peel attempt. if you're Eunjung Kim, you know that you're likely going to see a double peel attempt. So you need to make this draw good so that when they do, if they do manage to peel both guards, you can guard this one for the rest of the end. The sweepers have backed away. This might be a little deep.
Over curl here? Or curl and heavy. Ooh, do you chase it? Nope.
No. Nope. You're quite happy that went back there. It gives you a chance to play these guards.
Alright, let's see here. Taking a crack at the double peel, yeah?
Yeah, for sure.
This one's maybe a hair wide, yep.
A little straighter on what is the out turn for the left-hander. Catching that stone on the side.
Does that settle in for... That's second. Yeah?
I think it's second. It probably doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Certainly isn't going to affect the call for Eunjung Kim. And the only place it might come into play is if you had a chance to just hit and roll out for the last one. But I think it is the red stone that's shot rock back there. Still gives Kim another chance to try to draw around top 4 foot behind cover. Needing the steal here.
Did pick it up initially out of hand. It's got room.
Had to wait for it to curl. It's moving now. Can they get it deep enough? Maybe just had to wait a little bit too long for it to curl. Didn't have enough left to get it deep enough to be shot rock, or deep enough to be buried, pardon me. It is shot rock. Probably just fully open.
Yep, appears to be edge on edge.
You could hit this just a sliver on the high side. You could make a double on the reds and roll away from that center guard. Your shooter would be in a spot where you could use it later.
On it early, out of hand. Backing off now. And back on. Just clear the center guard.
Makes the hit and actually rolls behind the center.
Alright. Are we freezing to the top? Or are we going back button?
I think it's probably too late in the end to freeze to the top. I think you have to try to come around it, even if you're back 4 foot on this one. They've got 3 of them talking about it, and here comes the 4th. Settled on the draw, playing it from the out-turn side. They have had a few attempts from this side through the game, and it does seem like there's big late movement from this side, perhaps more so than the other side. Certainly that could be a factor when you're trying to come around a rock that's only a few inches out in front of the 4 foot, and you have to stop in time to be shot, yet buried.
First it skips rocks here. Looking for back 4 foot. Cleaning? Well, a little bit more urgency on the sweep.
A little on the firm side of clean.
Yeah.
Room by the guard, but you still got to get by the rock at the top of the 8 foot. Not going to. It's going to rub just off that stone a little bit. Spins in, probably sits shot rock.
All right, are we straight picking this out here, or?
I don't think so. Then she's got the same shot. If you straight nose this,
Yeah.
your shooter's in a spot where you could use it even if she made something, and she'd have to go to the other turn.
Yeah.
She won't be able to get in off of it because of where your shot stone is. Megan Walter throwing the skip stones today here for Team Ackland. They do have last rock in this tie game. Looking to make the hit on her first, and this is going to be tight to the guard. Makes the hit, does push her own over a little bit. Now, did that leave room for Kim to get to the inside of that stone? Boy, I think it did. She's going to have to play it with weight to move it because she's going to need the shooter to roll in. I think it's all you got now. Is there any chance, do you think, Mark? Can she get far enough to the inside of that? Make the hit, roll over, and maybe touch the back end of that yellow stone and get a little bit of the forefoot? Doesn't look like a lot of air by the guard.
No, and I mean, to do that, you're really going to have to throw... you're probably going to want to throw more weight than you're comfortable throwing, right?
You've got to roll under here.
Yeah. Last rock for Team Kim here. Looking for a hit and just an inside roll.
This has been the straighter side. She's going to have to flirt with the guard a little bit. They're already sweeping for some curl.
I think this
Got
is
room by the front one. Makes the hit.
Ooh.
Gets a little bit of a... Does sit for shot rock, but it's mostly out in the open.
Yeah.
The only discussion here really was how much weight does she want to throw at it. You can't see all of it. You could opt to play it gentle if you'd like, but I don't think there's any danger of, if you just played a picket, I don't think you could ever hit it thin enough to touch your own stone.
No, yeah. Yeah, just a matter of what weight here. And, yeah. And again, this should be the straighter side, and you can imagine Abby's going to throw a little bit of weight. Let's see. Or, I'm sorry, Megan throwing a little bit of weight at this one.
Final stone here in this B qualifying matchup. Megan Walter just needs to make shot stone go away. She's got second shot as it is. Sweeping for some curl. This has got to move a little bit to catch a piece. She's caught it. Is it going to move it far enough? It does.
It does.
Megan Walter, nice shot with her final stone. That'll pick up the single point and the win for Team Ackland. They move into the championship playoff round tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock for the Kim team. They'll still have another chance. They'll be back on the ice here in about an hour and a half, or an hour I think it is. We want to thank everyone for joining us here on CBC Gem and Sasktel Curling Stadium. Enjoyed having you here with us for this B qualifier. Be back for the C qualifiers tonight and the championship round all day tomorrow. My name is Sean Joyce. On behalf of myself and my partner Mark No, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you later.